Hello everyone, myself Vaibhav Verma and I am a part of Lexis and Company as a legal intern. Today I am going to talk about essentials of a contract. Let's start with what is contract. Contract in general terms can be said as an agreement between the parties to do something, or we can say agreement between two or more people to do something upon which they are agreed upon to do something. So, in general term, we can say that a promise enforceable by law is a contract. For example, contract in a loan agreement between buyer and seller of a car. Here, promise can be maybe to do something or to refrain from doing something. If, for an example, if A agrees to pay B rupees 2000 for his in consideration of his watch. Here A and B entered into a contract, and this contract is enforceable by law, as A promised to pay B rupees 2000 and B promises in consideration of rupees 2000 B promises to give his watch. Now what make a contract a valid contract? Here are some essentials of a contract. A valid contract is enforceable by law, and if a contract is not valid, it may lead to obstruction of business. Section 10 of the Indian Contract Act 1872 enumerates certain points that are enacted for that are essential for valid contracts, like free consent, competency of the party, lawful consideration, etc. Let's read this topic one by one. Number one essential is two parties. We can say one cannot enter into a contract with himself. So valid contract must involve at least two party identified by the contract. One of these party will make the proposal, and other party shall eventually accept it. So we in previous example we have seen A agrees to pay B rupees 2000 in respect of his watch. So here two parties are A and B. They are agrees to do something. So this considered to be a valid contract. Let's move further to the second essential, that is intent to create legal obligation. The parties that are subject to a contract must have clear intention for creating a legal relationship between them. What this means is in those agreements that are not enforceable by law, that is social or domestic agreement between relative or neighbor are not enforceable in a court of law, and thus any such agreement cannot become a valid contract. Let's discuss this point with an example. Let's say A and B are husband and wife respectively, in which A agrees to give a jewelry to her wife. And if he fails to do that, B cannot sue A in failure of his promise. Thus, they cannot create a legal obligation over each other. Thus, this contract cannot be a valid contract. Number 3 point is that certainty of meaning. Let's consider this point with an example. For example, if I agree to pay Mr. X a desirable amount for his house at so and so location, is this a valid contract even if all the party agree to the term? Of course it can't be. A desirable amount is not well defined and has no certainty of meaning. Thus we can say that a valid contract must have certainty of meaning. In the said example here, that there are things which is missing, that amount is missing, and location upon which the amount is going to give or they are going to execute the contract is also missing. So this is not considered to be a valid contract. Coming to the next point is free consent. Free consent is basically that the parties must be free in their own. By the party giving their consent must be free from undue influence, coercion, misrepresentation, fraud, etc. Both the party must offer the term in free consent and accept the term in free consent respectively. If there is any fraud or misrepresentation etc., then the contract should not be a valid contract. Next point is competency of the party. Section 11 of the Indian Contract Act 1872 stated that the competency to the who are competent to the contract. Every person is competent to contract who attained the age of majority and has sound mind and not disqualified from the law. The person who enter into the contract must have attained the age of majority, that is 18 year, and have a sound mind that he can take his own decision and he must not be debarred by the law. Next point is consideration. Quid pro quo. This phrase means something in return, which means that the party must accrue in the form of some profit, right, interest, etc., or seem to have some form of valuable consideration. In our first example, the example of watch and 2000 rupee, here the consideration is rupee 2000 and a watch. Now coming to the last point, that is lawful consideration. In section 25 of the Indian Contract Act, the unlawful consideration are defined as all those which is forbidden by law of such a nature that is permitted it would defeat the provision of any law or is fraudulent, involves or implies injury to the person, or the court regards it as a immoral or opposed to public policy. These conditions will render the agreement illegal. So to have a contract, contract is to be valid, there has to be a consideration which is going to be lawful. There is not going to be this consideration must not be unlawful in nature. So in all short, to have a contract valid, there must be two parties who are competent. They are creating an intention of legal obligation. The meaning of certainty must be there. The consent must be free, and there must be a consideration which is lawful. I hope you understand the essentials of the valid contract. Thank you.